Hi, I'm DJ Eric, and I've got Dennis Healey, which was a huge KJ out in Maine tonight. Hello, Dennis.
Hi, Eric. How are you?
Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you too.
And now this is, I like the title. This DJs come in all sizes, and the reason being, in case you can't tell, Dennis, how tall are you?
I am 4'2". I'm a dwarf.
He's a dwarf. Yeah, and you know what, Dennis? You know what? Dennis and I met how long ago?
Oh, we've known each other 20 years, 15
Yeah,
years.
yeah. And you were just like getting started
Yeah,
in what? Well, you were actually a DJ, right? Before
I
you
was.
met
I
me.
was DJing. I wasn't doing karaoke at that time. I was just DJing parties. I was a wedding officiant. I could marry people, so I was doing weddings and I was doing parties and that type of thing. And
That's a whole other story. The
right,
wedding officiant, that's like a bonus, right? You
yeah,
know,
I used to
in this
enjoy marrying
profession. Yeah,
people.
yeah. Anyway, and then I don't mean to say anyway like that didn't matter. I'm sorry. Just come on.
Oh
Did that
no,
come across wrong? No.
no, no.
It's you wanted to get into the karaoke scene, you
Yes, I
know?
did. I wanted to get in the karaoke world, and I had contacted you, and you helped me branch off into that. And
I helped you get established into the
yeah, yeah,
karaoke scene.
taught me a lot.
Now,
Taught me a lot about it. So
now you were a full-time sheriff, right?
no, I
Or
wasn't a
you
sheriff.
were
I was a sheriff dispatcher.
dispatcher. I'm
Right.
sorry. Right. Correct.
So
And I remember you had a meeting for this dispatcher thing out in Concord, New
I
Hampshire.
used to do that for. I was an accreditation manager for the sheriff's department, and we had monthly meetings. Uh, and uh, and so I used to come over to Concord, and so I remember I met you a time or two very briefly.
Yeah, yeah. See, you and I, see, I lived in, I think Hudson, New Hampshire at the time,
You
you
did,
know?
yeah,
And you're like, yeah. And I wanted to help you get established
right,
with the
right,
karaoke,
yeah,
which I did.
yes,
And I remember you driving up in this unmarked sheriff's car, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, is he here to try and bust me?
All right,
I didn't know your background until we actually sat down
right,
and talked, you know?
yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this guy's showing up at my house in an unmarked car. Like,
I'm coming to
do I
bust.
have do I have any illegal files on me
Yeah,
that I
yeah.
didn't know of?
And
You
you
know,
come to
but
find out
yeah,
that I was the farthest thing from that, right? So,
no. But you and I turned out to be great friends,
oh,
and we
we're great
still
friends.
are.
Yeah, we
You know,
are. We're great friends. Yeah,
but here's my point to the show. It don't matter whether you're 6 feet tall, 500 pounds, you know,
right.
or or a dwarf like yourself,
Yeah,
because I do remember one time you came to my house and you went to a was it a rent one? A rent one?
a rental center or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah. And you went in there because you wanted a bigger sound system.
right.
And you said to this manager, whoever is on duty, if you could fit all that in my car, I'll
Yeah,
buy it. Do you
yeah.
remember that, Dennis?
Right. And I had what did I have for a car? I had an HHR, Chevy HHR back then.
Right. And you could have fit much in that. But,
No, it was very
and
small.
you said if you could fit all this, it was a PA system you were buying off
Yeah,
them.
right. I was buying
If
a
you could
rental.
fit all this, in fact, the speakers, if I remember
Yeah, they were like
correctly,
those
were
tall ones, like the 3 foot
yeah,
one.
they stood over you, I think,
Yeah, they were
right?
tall as I. Well, they were almost 4 foot
Yeah,
tall. Yeah, they
yeah,
were 4 foot tall.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they had the big 15-inch subwoofer in them, and they had the hi hat.
I think they had two 15s and a
Yeah,
horn,
right. They were. Yeah, they did. They
right?
had 215s,
Yep,
like a hi hat.
yeah.
Yeah, they were heavy as
Anyway,
hell.
so you said to this guy, if you could fit this all in my car, I'll pay for it right now, and I'm out of your hair, you know.
Right, right.
And sure enough, they fit it in your car. and then you took off.
I
You
did.
went back to
I
Maine,
bought them
right?
because I didn't need stands. I didn't think I could lift speakers onto a stand, and so I bought the basically the
Yeah,
little coffins. They look like 4 foot.
but we're going to get to that in a moment
Yes, we
about the
are.
stands because
Right.
you had a workaround on those
I
later.
did too.
You
Yeah,
know?
I figured something out
Yes.
for those.
Yep. I want to get to the back of your trunk first.
Remember, I had the Mini Cooper.
You know what? This is what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
Dennis had a Mini Cooper, and that trunk opened way higher than he could
yeah, I
shut
did.
it.
It was a hatchback, so it opened up. Same
Yes.
HR did the same thing. His HR was a hatchback.
And what did you do? You rigged it up somehow where you had a
What I did
wire
is,
or a
no,
rope.
no. What I did was I bought one of those retractable dog leashes, and I took an eye hook and drilled it into the tailboard of the door when it opened up, and I hooked the dog leash to that, and then I took the handle part of the dog leash and I velcroed it to the inside to the door. So when the door opened, the dog leash expanded, and all I had to do was pull down on the dog leash and brought the door down to where I needed to it. So when I closed the door, the dog leash would retract itself, and that way it didn't get caught in the tailboard. And
Unbelievable,
I
Dennis.
literally just woke up in the middle of the night with that idea on how to resolve the problem of me reaching the hatchback door. So
You
just came
know,
out of the box.
and I commend you on that because it worked, and you did
Works
that for
great.
many years, right?
Good.
And when you showed me this, I'm like, all right, let me see this contraption you built so that you could open and shut your trunk.
Yeah.
And I was amazed. Like you always thought you're a smart guy,
I
okay?
try. Yeah.
And you tried, not tried, but you succeeded in doing what you love
Absolutely.
to do. And Michael, I respect you so much,
Well,
Dennis,
thank you,
because
Eric. Thank
and
you.
and this is why I call this DJs come in all sizes
Absolutely.
because like you just said, you're a dwarf, and your passion was music. You love
Was.
music. And your passion was to get out there and DJ. Your passion was to get out there after that and start doing karaoke.
Oh, I wanted to do
And
karaoke very much.
you had up to, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, in Maine, you had at least four, maybe five karaoke shows a week. Am I
I was
wrong?
5 nights a week, and then
Yeah.
and a lot of times I had weddings on Saturdays, so I was sometimes 6 nights a week, 6 days a week.
Right, right. Same as me. Like I will keep Saturdays open for weddings, and obviously that's more money
Yeah.
when
Oh,
you're
yeah.
doing yeah.
Especially when I was marrying people too.
Well, that is a bonus right
It
there,
was.
where
You
you
made me
you
very
could do
busy
the
for a few minutes.
ceremony.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you were
you
very
could.
busy for a few minutes, but you had to learn. You had to figure out how to do the music and do the officiating. And at that time, I was married. I'd had my wife on the board for like that 5 minutes while I was marrying him.
That's awesome, Dennis. You found a way around it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I'm not saying I hate the word. I hate the phrase physically challenged. But you said it was okay to use that.
Yeah, yeah. I was physically challenged because it's a very the equipment's heavy and it's made for
Yeah.
tall people. And later on, like we was talking, I ended up buying a set of QSCs, 15 inch,
Yeah.
and I got rid of those big coffin speakers. And
Were they 12 or 15s? I think they
they're
were
50,
12s, right?
they're K12s. Yeah, they were
Yeah,
K12s.
K12s, right.
So, and I figured out I bought the pneumatic tripod stands. So all you had to do is I had to lift the speaker up over my head like this and get it on the stand
Real quickly. Yep.
real
Yep.
quickly, and get it
Yep.
up, find that hole and get them on there and literally get them up
And
like this.
remember, the QSC, they had two holes. So you had to always go to
Right,
that back
one that
hole,
went down, one
unless
that
you
went
want to
up.
tilt it. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You had to
Right.
get the right hole.
Yeah.
And then what was great about the pneumatic was all you had to do was open up the crank and they rose up by themselves. I paid the extra money for it, but that was my
Yeah.
solution to get the ends up where you needed them so everyone could hear them.
Now, here's a funny story I remember. When you first got those stands, you said don't ever hit that switch without a speaker on it, or you're not getting that pole
Oh,
back
you're
down.
right. You're not getting that down. You had to
Right.
like, tip them upside
It
down.
was, yeah, it was crazy. And you said you had to go like against a wall one time
Yeah, I had to
or
like
put it up.
put
Yeah,
upside
yeah,
down,
yeah.
put the speaker upside down, the stand upside down, and then open up the valve and then push with everything I had to get them to go
That
back
was
on.
the hydraulic one.
Yeah, they were the hydraulic. Yeah.
Right. And then after that, I believe you still used the QSCs,
Yeah, yeah. I used them right up
and
until
then
that
you would
time.
use a crank, right? You had a
No,
crank one.
I used the pneumatic the whole time.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good for you. You know?
I had the cranks for the I had the light bars, so I
Yeah.
used cranks for those.
Oh, for the gig bar and
Right, right.
what not? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The gig
Okay.
bar, and
Was it
I had the full truss thing too if I needed it for a wedding. So
which I don't think the hydraulic would work on a gig bar. What it's not heavy enough
no,
to
it wasn't
lift
heavy
it.
enough.
Probably.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, so but the gig bar was light enough that you could extend it and put the peg in and then tighten it. Or I would lay
I've
it on
got
the side. I would lay it on the side and then raise the whole light bar up
right.
and do it
Yeah.
that way. But that
Oh, that's actually a neat trick too. Yeah, just
yeah,
lay it down, bolt it down, whatever, that
hold it
little,
on and then raise
and
the whole thing
yeah,
up. Because
because it's not heavy.
the
It's
gig
really
bar's
not
not heavy,
heavy.
no.
Yeah, yeah. But those
So
speakers, you went through, I don't know how many pairs of speakers, Dennis. I mean,
no,
you would buy them.
I only went through two pair. I only had the coffin speakers, and I went right to the QSCs. That's the only ones I ever used.
Really? I thought there was another one in
No,
between.
no,
No?
no. I went right from those big speakers to the K12s. Man, I love those K12s. The QSC K12s were the best speakers I ever heard, and it was so mobile. They were still heavy, but they were not that heavy.
Right.
They sounded great, and they thumped
You
hard.
know what else you would have loved more? And this come out after, and Dennis is now retired
I am
because
retired.
of
Yeah,
back issues and,
I had back
yeah.
surgery, and I'm not able to do it anymore. But yeah, I did it for many years, and I love going out there and doing it. And I love the QSCs because they sounded great, and for the money, they were really cool. I actually bought the subwoofers with them for a while, and they thumped hard, and but it was just cumbersome to lift the subwoofer everywhere I went. So I just mostly used my K12s.
Thank you for covering me. We're a little sick over here.
I understand.
And yeah. And I get these coughing attacks once in a while, but
You're okay. That's all that matters.
no, we're fine. And I appreciate you, Dennis. But I want to go back to when you were saying the QS. Listen, this is what I was going to say. Had Evolve 50s been around while you were still in business,
Yeah.
those would have really done the trick for you.
I
I
was.
mean, you roll them in, you
Yeah.
put it off the cot, put it together, which is real quick and easy,
Yeah.
and they sounded. And I use Evolve 50s. I went from QSC to Evolve, who is one of our sponsors, by the way.
Okay.
The Evolve and DJ Event Planner also. DJEventPlanner.com, which is a longtime sponsor.
Right.
So you when this is posted, you'll see the links down below.
I see the commercial. Yeah.
Yeah, you click on them, and they've got some great
Oh,
things
Evo. I love EVs. They were. I've listened to them, and they're awesome too. They're very awesome.
yeah. I really think and when I say DJs come in all sizes,
Yeah.
and it's not a pick on you thing,
Oh no, I don't. No, I'm glad to be able to share my story and say that you
Yeah.
don't have to be 6 foot tall to DJ. I was 4 foot tall, and I was actually when my logo was I was the little music man, and I was like the little guy with big sound. What I used to say.
LIL Music
Yeah,
Man. I
yeah,
remember it. Yeah.
yep,
You
and my,
still have that email, as a
yeah, I
matter of
still
fact.
do. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Little Music Man.
but yeah, I was the little guy with big sound. That was my slogan. So
In fact, I think I gave you that slogan,
you
the
may
little
have,
man
yeah,
with
you
the
may
big
have it.
sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Uh,
I think you did actually. Yeah,
I think I did give you yeah. Um, and it worked,
it worked
the
great.
little man with the big sound. And then you went on to do karaoke, right?
Yeah, once I met up with you and learned how to do karaoke, you come down to your gigs and you taught me a thing or two. I went back and I did karaoke for years. So,
Yeah. Okay, we got Brian Kay coming in, but
yeah,
he's not on camera. He's also a karaoke
is
guy,
he?
Dennis. But
Okay,
yeah, I don't know if he wants to pop in or not, and he's welcome to.
sure.
Um, but the whole point of this was it don't matter whether you're physically challenged like you were or
Right.
are, anybody can do what anybody does.
You're right.
If
Anyone can
you,
do
if
anything
it,
if they put their mind to it. So you just
right,
don't think you can't do it because you can.
right. And I commend you, Dennis. You did
Thank you.
it for over 10 years.
Yeah,
And,
I was very successful at it. I had a great following, and I love the people that followed me. My fellow karaokeers, and I had a great time with weddings and private parties too. I had so much fun, and
I
I
remember you helping me with a few weddings now
yeah,
that
I did.
yeah,
Yeah, I had such a good time with you too. It was fun doing it together.
we had a lot of fun, and we
Yeah, we
still
did.
do, but it's non-DJ things now, but we
Right,
still
right.
have a lot of fun. Dennis,
Everybody's
thank
great.
you
There
for
was some fun
taking the
times.
time.
Sorry.
Thank you for taking the time with me tonight.
Oh no, no problem,
And
Eric. I'm honored to come on. I'm honored to share my story, and I only wish I could physically still DJ because I'd still be out there doing it. But I just
and I know you would. I know you would, Dennis. It's your passion, it's your life,
yeah,
and you were very successful at what you did for those 10 years. And unfortunately, it was cut short due to physical problems,
right. I appreciate you those kind words, there, Eric. Thank you.
Yeah, I love you, Dennis,
I
and
love you, man.
thank you again. So don't forget to click on our sponsors below. DJ Event Planner, there's Evolve, and there's a bunch of goodies down there. You'll see them in the links below when this is
Okay.
posted. And Dennis, until next time, take care, my friend.
Thank you, Eric. Thanks for having me, and everybody take care. And remember, you can do it.